our lovely cosmic goddess, Reverend Jen Post, known as the Awakener. She is going to be speaking about why we are here. Basically, why do we choose our life? And basically, everything that she talks about is how you can discover your soul's plan. Everything that she does leads you into uncovering your ultimate true purpose and why you're here on this planet. Let me find her little bio. She is the Awakener-Cosmic goddess, Bluestar, and channel for the Higher of Alakali, and the renowned channel with the abilities that included being a Reiki master, teacher, healer, starseed, galactic teacher, and spiritual counselor, angelic healer, and angelic healer. In her practices, she integrates all her abilities in her studies, which awaken, empower, and heal and balance your life as you journey back to oneness. You can find her at mindbodyandspirit3.com. Take it to the stage, Jen. And actually, you have until another 15 minutes after, so you can go into.
Oh, good. All right. So a little, what, 40 minutes or so?
3:15.
15.
Yeah,
okay.
3:15.
I want to just put a timer on here so I don't go over. Okay, perfect. All right. Welcome, everybody. Such powerful, powerful energies we are moving through at this time. And I do have a little extra time to talk about that. So that is fantastic. So beautiful. I am here to help you guys understand why you incarnated, what lessons you are here to learn in this lifetime, what your challenges are, what your abilities are, your talents, and your goal. What is essentially where your higher self came in to, why you reincarnated here, and what your soul wants you to achieve at the highest level in this lifetime. And what is going to help you with all of that is what is called the soul plan readings. And I'm going to do a screen share. Let's see, here we go. Okay, perfect. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
Yes.
All right, let me shut this down. Hold on one second. Let me just go through this up. You guys are still there. Good. I want to just bring this up here. Okay. Just bear with me because I don't see it on my screen. There we go. Okay. So this is the soul plan reading. So basically what this does is it's based on your birth name. Why your birth name? Because your birth name holds vibration, right? So every time you speak, it's an energy. Thought is an energy. Sound is an energy. So just like you are born at a certain time and day, which gives you your astrology chart, your higher self gave you your name because you wanted to come and obviously be reincarnated and to have an experience here on earth, to heal karma, to achieve your highest potential. So that your name is going to assist with that because it goes out into the universe when it's spoken, when you are the embodiment of these energies. So your higher self gives you your name. Your parents might think they're the only ones that are the reasoning for that, but in fact, it is your higher self. And then you're born, right? So you're born, you come in, now you have this energy field. And it's going to then therefore ripple out into the universe. And it's going to bring you all of the people in your life, all of your experiences, basically everything you came here to achieve, and go through and learn and experience. So this is my chart. My birth name is Jennifer Lynn Beldy. to really get more depth of understanding of this reading, it's based in ancient Hebrew gematria, which is where we convert your name into frequencies. Because like I said, everything is energy and everything is vibration. So it goes into this chart, gets converted into the Star of David, which really, we know this as a Jewish symbol, of course, but there's just so much more to it than that. It is what we call the Merkaba. So if you guys don't understand what the Merkaba is when our body begins to align and awaken to our light body, and our light body travels multidimensionally through the Merkaba, which your body literally changes into this geometric shape of the Merkaba. So this is a very powerful symbol. It's not just a Jewish symbol, but it is the symbol of your light body at the highest level. So that just validates this system and what you are here to achieve at the highest. So your name gets converted and it's placed around this Star of David. You can see that there's two interlocking triangles. There's one triangle going down. That's going to hold all of your worldly aspects, your worldly challenges right here, your worldly talents and your worldly goals. And then the triangle going up represents your spiritual challenges, talents, and goals. So as you move through life, you're going to have experiences with people that are going to be the direct reflection of your soul's plan. I call them your players. You're playing a game of life like chess, but they're going to come in and help you move through all of these vibrations in your chart. And of course, some of it is very challenging. Some of it is extremely blissful, but so it is a reading that will help you basically understand who you are at the highest level and what you came here to achieve at the highest level. So with my soul plan, I'm going to go through it, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of information to help you understand. Like if you look at my chart, I have 2 double numbers. Okay, so my soul came here to have a little bit more focus with these energies, and I'm going to go through them. And each vibration, if you look, there's like all these little crazy little symbols that represents something. And I'm going to go through that too as well. We also come here to experience duality. And what that means is that every single vibration that you are going to have in your chart that you came here to work with in this lifetime, you're going to have a positive attribute, but you're also going to have a challenging attribute. And you're going to see through the relationships and the situations and your circumstances why or where you are in that energy at that time. So each star, each vibration does have a star sign connected to it. So it does bring in astrology. It has these symbols, which are these right here. And I go through that. And each one has polarity, equality, positive or challenging, I should say. And it also has a body part or an organ, because you are spirit, you are energy in a human body. Right? So these energies that you're going to have in your chart are going to affect your body parts or organs. So you can have weaknesses in an organ. You can have strengths in an organ. You can have body parts that are affected. I've done many readings where somebody has they've had the vibration where they're here to process judgments and self-judgments and judgments placed upon them. And the direct energy affects the gallbladder, and they've had their gallbladders removed. So it is a very powerful reading to have, to really even stop from having or needing an operation if you really start addressing the aspects within these vibrations. So now my first vibration, well, actually, you know what? Being that I have a little extra time, I want to go into how I even came about this reading. I think somebody is got their microphone on. Okay, so maybe Vicky or somebody, whoever is in here, they can go through that and see if they can turn off their microphone. All right, so basically, we all go through an awakening process. You wouldn't be here if you haven't had an awakening process, or have that calling back of why we are here and what's our purpose, right? So I went through my awakening process in 2009 when my son's friend passed away, and his soul started coming to me, telling me that he was my son, in fact, in a previous life. And it was really a very difficult and dark time that I had gone through. I only met the boy for 5 minutes, so I really didn't have a relationship with him, but all of these flooded memories started coming back in the connection. We shared the same birthday. We're both November 12th. And I just had this incredible connection to him. And I felt like I lost my son, but it didn't make sense because I only met him for a couple of minutes through my son, Michael. It was his best friend. And all of this time, things started happening. I started seeing things, seeing energies, feeling things, picking up things. And I couldn't understand. I was having a lot of anxiety and a lot of, panic, and I couldn't sleep, and just fear. I mean, fear about everything. And I had an incredible experience where Archangel Michael started coming down from my ceiling. And this was one of the times when I really thought I was losing it and having a nervous breakdown. And it only fueled my fear that it was going on, because I thought I was really just kind of like having a nervous mental breakdown. But the universe always brings you who you need, your teachers, your healers, your soul group friends, when you need it. And I started having all of these synchronicities and started seeing repeating numbers to the point where it was obvious, like the number 1111. I just started seeing that like everywhere, 111, 11, 11, 11. So I started feeling like all these little shifts and having all these like realizations, and people started coming in about spirituality and meditation and chakra healings and all of this. So I just followed what I felt was true for me. And I was going to the bookstore one day because like I said, I had Archangel Michael descending from my ceiling and I thought I was losing it. So I needed to read about the Archangels. So I'm in the bookstore and I'm looking at Doreen Virtue at the time. She was really into all of the angels. And I was looking at a book, and a woman just came up behind me and was like, oh, I have that book. And we started chit-chatting, and she's like, I'm up from Florida. I do these soul plan readings. And she's like, I think you should have one. I didn't even hesitate. I said, sign me up. And, she ends the conversation. She goes, oh, by the way, I'm in the wrong section. And I knew it right then and there. I knew the spirit just led her to that area so I can have this connection with her and ultimately have my reading. And when I had my reading, I literally cried. I cried because all of the things that she said that were so concrete, all of the thoughts and the emotions that I didn't even tell people that I even felt about myself, was all revealed in my reading. And the last thing she had said to me, which I'll go through, is this right here, the soul's destiny, the 10-1, is where I am part of the angelic energies, and I work hand in hand with Archangel Michael. And he started talking and communicating with me about how I named my son Michael and how he's also part of the angelic frequencies. So I left there with such hope and I felt so much better about everything that I had gone through, that I wasn't going crazy. And she said, you have no idea how much your life is going to change and what you are here to do. And honestly, I didn't even have a clue to what she was talking about. I was just like, okay, you know, sure, if you say so. But wow, boy, did my life completely flip upside down, and it completely changed my whole existence and my whole path. So that's how powerful these readings are. Boy, I honestly, I feel every single person in the world should have this, because it is something that will help you understand that you're not alone, what you're really here to achieve, and that you're not just dropped here on earth and left to figure it out, you know, all by yourself, that you do have this tool to guide you. So my first vibration right here, if you guys look in the worldly challenges, it was all about slavery and dominion. Really, that's the vibration. So I have people in my life that want to keep quiet. They want to have power over me, keep me submissive. Now, this is my karma. The worldly challenges and the spiritual challenges, this is what I can really to clear this karma. I am a past life regression therapist. I've done a lot of past lives. The people that are in my life that have been the most powerful, I have seen my past lives with them, you know, and them ending my life, in fact, in a past life, through abuse. So I came here to speak up to my abusers and to ultimately claim my power back. You know, this symbol here, this is really light language. You know, we talked about that, you know, at the beginning, where a lot of us are light language channelers, and I speak the light language. These are symbols of the light language. The gentleman who channeled this system was receiving all of this downloaded information to make this plan, so we can have a blueprint, you know, a map to help us. So these are light language symbols that he channeled. So this is a tongue. So expressing, being held back from expression. I grew up in a household where, you know, you know, be seen, not heard. How many of us have heard that growing up, right? So, you know, not feeling comfortable to speak out, having a lot of fear speaking out, especially for those who are dominating over us. So this has been my challenge in this lifetime, to transcend this and to heal. Now, all the relationships that the people, my players in my chess game, right? My life chess game, that's what they came here to, you know, fulfill that role. So another really amazing thing about this is, when you have this understanding, is you really begin to look at other people in your life in a whole new perspective. You know, I'm very open about my relationships. My ex-husband was abusive. He, you know, he literally said to me, just, I want you to stand there. I don't want you to speak. This is the tongue, right? This is that vibration. And he would control and dominate me. I don't want you wearing makeup. And it took me 16 years to get up the nerve to leave him. But through my healing process and the understanding of this reading, I have a whole new perspective that he was just a player in my, what I have asked, or what I needed to come here to heal. So that actually helped me heal how my part of my healing process with him, and to hold him in unconditional love. You know, we're all here to have an experience. We're all here to learn. This is why we incarnate here. Okay, so through my whole awakening process, this is what I've been learning, and having this reading has greatly helped me understand. So the 8 here is clairvoyance. So now I'm bringing in a psychic ability of clairvoyance. This is also a really big earth energy too. So I'm very grounded into the earth sometimes. And we have these crazy cosmic shifts. Sometimes I do become a little ungrounded. But more importantly, this is about seeing patterns. So not only that, of course, I tapping into my psychic abilities, but also being able to really look deep into my own patterns. And I had to look deep into the patterns of my abusers and what they're showing me, what they are showing me about myself and what needs to be healed. So this is just one vibration. So you can see where, just this one vibration is making such an impact. And I will tell you, it was through this relationship and the death of my son's friend that I went through the dark night of the soul. And I talk a lot about this on these talks and when I mentor people, that the dark night of the soul is meant to basically bring you down to your knees and break down the foundations so you can be rebuilt. So a lot of people will start to reevaluate their relationships. I started reevaluating my whole relationship with my husband, my first husband, and what I needed to learn from him. So the dark night of the soul, although is very difficult, it's dark, right? And that's what it says. It's the dark night of the soul. But what happens on the other side of that is you become strong, you step into your power, you have new understanding, you have new clarity. It's you're healing, so it is a necessary part of the ascension process. Okay, so we all kind of go through it, and it can be through a death, it can be through an illness, it could be through a divorce. So my divorce threw me into that along the same time, with my son's friend, little increments of the dark night of the soul, like all these things breaking me down. So very, very powerful. Also, the next vibration, the 11-2, this is death to rebirth. So I work a lot with the death energy. Like I said, my son's friend came to me when he died. So that was another part of a death and a rebirth for myself. But this right here, this 2 energy is all about bouncing back. So we have, that strength, like a coil that we can bounce back from our death to rebirths, right? Our dark night of the soul. Thank God we have this energy. So we do bounce back and we're a higher, better version of ourself. But this one is a very powerful redefining vibration that this right here is a geometric shape. So if you think about geometric shapes, they're always changing and moving. That's what this is all about creating that and a foundation, like a new emotional foundation. So if you want to look at like the 2 vibrations I have here, my first relationship with my husband, needing to learn to speak up for myself, going through the divorce, you can see now how these 2 vibrations are playing into one another. I needed to basically leave, and that's a death. Leave a marriage, that's a death of a life I've always knew after 16 years and 2 children. But I needed to reshape myself and become a more empowered person. This is what my higher self has pulled me to achieve in this lifetime. So very powerful. And then my next 2 vibrations are the 4-4s, which is learning about the abundance of the universe and understanding that we are abundant. We are here to connect to abundance. It's the energies of the sun, and the sun gives life. and it's thoughts, it's creative, right? So I teach a lot of classes. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I do Galactic starseed classes. I do all fun stuff once a month, sometimes twice a month, with the energies, angels or masters or light beings. I'm doing a class on 5/5 and activation with Kali Ma, who's a Hindu mother goddess of like destruction. Don't get scared about that, but breaking you down to bring up a new, better version of yourself. So these energies here, I connect to the life of the universe, and it creates abundance, not only for myself, but for those that I connect to. So you can see now, just from the worldly aspects of just some of the things that I've shared to you, how you know, the players in my life and the people in my life have greatly assisted the things that I came here to achieve. So, you know, the next thing we move to is going into the spiritual aspects, even though here I have the double, you know, 4 4s. We move into the spiritual challenges. Now, this is another big karmic lesson for me. This right here is the energy of knowledge, taking in knowledge and absorbing knowledge, but then sharing it out. Now, let's look at the 17/8 again, right? That's speaking and sharing, right? And now it's me taking in this knowledge and sharing it out. And it's in my spiritual challenges. So when I started going through that dark night of the soul and the reevaluation of my entire life, I was an esthetician, was married, I got divorced, I did the aesthetics for a really long time. But in the middle of that, I started taking spiritual classes. I became an interfaith minister, a Reiki master teacher. All of these things I would never think in a million years that I would be doing. But at last, you know, my higher self had a completely different, you know, path for me. And this is about being a spiritual teacher. But of course, leading up to this realization, I thought I wouldn't be a very good teacher. It was my limiting lower aspect of this vibration. And when I sat with my reading and I said, holy cow, okay, so I have this challenge thinking that I can be a good teacher, that I can express, that I can share out the knowledge. I need to move past that. I need to move past that fear, because now it was holding me back from, here we go, tying into abundance. So I was blocking myself off from abundance because of my fear and my limiting thought that I wouldn't be a good teacher. And ironically, but not really, my now husband that I am married to, my twin flame, he's a social studies teacher. So I compared myself to him as a teacher, and he's an amazing teacher. So it only fueled my limiting beliefs about myself that I wouldn't be a teacher. But because I had this soul plan and I knew what the polarity was and the challenge with it, I knew I had to push myself past the point of being comfortable. And when I tell you I did, my whole entire life changed to the point where I left my aesthetics job and I do this full time. So this is how impactful these readings are, because if you are listening to me, you are ready to go to the next level of your awareness. You're ready to go to the next level of your light body. You're ready to step into your soul's mission here, what you came here to experience, like me, being the speaker, sharing out the information of all of the modalities that I've acquired over the past 12, 15 years. And I'm here to teach you. And once I stepped into that, now I've cleared my karma. I healed my karma with my ex-husband. I healed my karma of fear about being a teacher and stepping out into this role. And it now has changed my entire life. I'm complete change. Right. So absolutely one of the most important readings that you will ever have in your lifetime. And it doesn't matter where you are along your journey. If you are first, awakened and you're feeling that flame inside of you that's calling you to have a higher understanding about yourself. But think about all of the things and the relationships that you can heal and take away a new perspective to why they were in your life, especially our parents. Our parents are our biggest karmic lessons in this lifetime. There's so much healing. All of us go through that karmic relationship, and children, of course, children as well. Our lovers, our husbands, our wives, all of that, all of that will be revealed in this reading. And what is so wonderful is that you will be able to look back in the past and understand why those things happened. And like I said, you can start healing those, and you will begin to understand what you're moving through in the now moment and in the future. So anytime you go back and listen to this recording of your reading, it will always be relevant because it's you. It's always going to be relevant at every moment in your life, no matter what you're moving through, because it is you. This is my energy, Jennifer Lynn Beldy. This is who I am energetically. So very powerful. So we have just, I think, a few more minutes left. Let me just double check. I think I have 5 more minutes, 7 more minutes. Okay. And of course, you guys can follow me into room 12 after this, and I can go into a little bit more. I am running a special for a couple months now. These are normally 170 because the number 17 is the number of integration, but my guides came forward and said to offer them at 111, which is another activation number. So please take advantage of this. It is priceless. Almost every single person on this panel has had their soul plan reading, and I have seen the incredible shifts after they have had their reading, because once you bring the information to your conscious mind, that is when things really start changing for you, because it's so concrete. It's all laid out in front of you. It's mind-blowing. So just to kind of go a little bit more, because I have a couple of more minutes here, my 7-7 is working with people. I am here to create connections and unity. So I'm here today with you in this group. We're coming together in this space. This is also about mind, body, and spirit. And as I go along, in my own journey, I gain deeper and deeper knowledge of the impact of these readings, and I bring that to your personal reading as well. For an example, just taking this vibration, the 7-7, yes, in the earthly aspect, it means bringing people together. I love connecting with people. I'm a people person. I genuinely love people. I love being here on earth. It is about just coming into a place of unity. It's an action energy. So I'm always moving and going and getting things done. I get these incredible creative ideas and I bring them into manifestation because I just pounce on it. But in the spiritual aspect, and this is what I'll do for your reading too, I'll give you both examples. I am here to unite mind, body, and spirit. This is what this is. So I'm going to go through all of the process, to the whole process of uniting my mind, my body, and my spirit. This is a big one. It's the descension of your Holy Spirit in your body and looking at your shadow This is a big look at your shadow self. All of those limiting beliefs that we don't want to look at, all those insecurities, you know, all the shadows of ourself that we don't want others to see, right? So in order to, and this is just great advice to you guys, if you guys really want to live a life where you're connected to your higher self, you need to unite your mind, body, and spirit. So doing your inner work, looking at those shadows, looking at, here's the 8-8, looking at your patterns, right? So we can't live a life on earth just in our body, not connecting to our minds and uniting our mind and our body, but then our spirit. And how many people do we know? And I'm sure you guys know many that are not connected to their spirit. They're just navigating through life and they're struggling. I watch it every single day. I see people who are not connected to their higher self and they're rejecting or resisting their spirit. They're the ones who are really struggling because they're being guided or fueled, let's say, by all the lower aspects of themselves. They're being fueled by their lower aspects of their vibration. So let's think about like what's going on in the world today. If all of these people in the world that are creating wars and creating fear with terrorists and stuff like that, if they connected to their higher self and they did this inner work, they wouldn't be doing any of these actions that are fear-based, that are in the lower aspects of all of their vibrations, right? So this is why I'm here on earth, so I can share out this information, and one person at a time, you here, help you connect to this knowledge and help you connect to your higher self. So you're living from a higher vibration, not from the lowest chakras, not from the lower aspects of your soul plan, but the highest. And your whole life is going to change. Your relationships are going to change. The relationship that you have with yourself is going to change greatly, right? And you're going to be guided by your higher self. That means you're going to hear the voices and the inner nudges from your guides. You will tap into your psychic abilities because we're all psychic. We're all multidimensional. We all come from source. So the only thing that's holding you back is what was holding me back many years ago, were all my fears, all the lower vibrations that I have, right? So all where I was functioning, all those relationships that reflected that. And then I started shifting through that awakening process of the dark night of the soul. So to just finish up, because we have the time here until Sherry comes back and tells me to stop talking, is the soul's destiny.
I am here.
Oh, you are here. Okay. Am I up or do I have time to just finish this?
We need to wrap it up and they can follow you to your room. How much longer you have? Because we have to.
2 minutes, not even. I can tell you this in a minute.
Okay.
Is that good?
Okay.
Okay. So my soul's destiny. This is where Archangel Michael comes in. This shield right here is 1. This 10 is spirit and manifestation. So I came from, another place with this high energy to basically live the embodiment of the angelic frequency, which means balance between my male principle and my female principle, to be integrated. And I resonate with this, with the archangels. This is why I also channel the archangels. This is why Archangel Michael came to me and started appearing. It was about me going home and connecting to this higher part of myself that is here. And it's work. It's all about work. This is the yin and yang energy and coming to complete mastery of my conscious mind in this lifetime and working my butt off to obtain this. And I will tell you 100%, that's all I do is work on myself. So there you have it, my friends. Beautiful energy. The timer just went off. Perfect. So I'm going to stop the screen share because I know we have to pick a number here. And you, like I said, you can follow me to my room and I can, do a couple card pullings for you with the soul plan energy and tap into that as well for you. But again, remember that I am running that special of 111 for these readings. We do record it, so you will have it to listen back to for the rest of your life, which you will want to need, will definitely want. All right, so I know we are picking numbers. Is Sherry here? Are you still here, Mama?
Yeah, from 0 to 100, put in the chat. Do not look at the chat. Put your number on a piece of paper. And then we'll do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the closest number will win. You can also follow her to her room. We also have Jane Ladu right now in room number 1 doing a playroom experiences, doing card pulls and poetry. And after him, we have Carol Alio Ramsey, who's going to be doing, goodness, she's probably going to be doing some kind of amazing channeling and healing, because that's what she works with. And that's going to be at 3:30 in 10 minutes. If you'd like to have 5-minute free sessions with any of the practitioners, go into room number 2. If you don't know how to go there, we will move you. Just put in the chat to be asked to be moved. Or you can go to the bottom of your screen where it says more with the 3 dots, left click on that, hit the word that says breakout rooms, and you're going to see a screen that pops up. When the screen pops up, hit join when it says number 1 if you want to join the playroom, hit number 2 if you want to go have a session. We have Kiana right now managing room number 2, and we have Eugene managing room number 1, and then we'll be switching it out. So everybody who's involved is a healer, reader, intuitive in some capacity. So if anybody is late or doesn't show up, you're always going to be entertained and supported by any of our volunteer chat moderators. So guys, we got all your numbers in the chat. If you're listening to us right now on YouTube or Facebook, this is where the action is. You need to be here in order to win these prizes. So Jen is going to be giving away a prize, and we're going to ask you right now, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What is your number?
17.
We have Mary.
Mary Rose. What a powerful name. Mary Rose.
Mary Rose got it right on the dot.
She did. And I looked right up at her after I wrote my number and saw that. So perfectly aligned.
Oh, isn't that great? Yeah.
You're going to love this. Your mind is going to be blown away. It's just, it's incredible.
So go follow her to room number 12 if you want to chat with her for a little while. And I believe you're going to be doing a full hour at
5:30.
5:30 in the playroom, guys. So in a couple of hours, she's going to do activations and all kinds of great channeling and messages, and you guys are going to have a blast. So go follow her either right now to her room, or see her at 5:30 in the playroom, or go to room number 2 to book a session. All right.
All right.